morning, everybody. This morning I have my son Alejandro with me. You say hi.
Hi.
And we are going to show you how to do beginning crochet and to teach young ones like himself how to actually tie it on and do a chain. I don't know that we'll get to turning around. We might try to squeeze that in this video. We'll see how long this takes. But I wanted to show you a few things that the kiddos can do. Here is basically going back and forth, okay? And this one might be I don't think it's a double crochet. I think this one is 1.5. But at any rate, we'll show you how to go back and forth. And you can see in the stitches here, this is a mug rug, or rug for your mug so that you can put your mug down. And then if and when they get real good, we can show you guys how to do the circle. But we're ultimately looking at just doing a chain. And then in the future videos, what we're going to do is, like Christy won this last month. So this month we might have a drawing for one of these again, and then I'll show how to make something. But you can make scarves for kiddos with that, or you can make a bag that is like a drawstring bag. So we're going to try that, just a cute little one. So be sharing and liking and subscribing, and put in the comments done when you do that, and then we'll have a drawing for another one of these for next month. But we're going to go over different hook sizes, and Alejandro has picked a particular one. You want to show him the one that you picked?
I like this one personally. It's wooden and it's pretty thin. I like it.
And I've used a wooden one that's thicker, depends on your yarn. There are several other sizes. This long one is got an end on it. It's a Tunisian hook, and it's a different type of crochet that you do, that you go back and forth without flipping your work. And we'll get into that another time. But for this video, I wanted to show you there's big, thick ones.
Thick.
And they're for thicker yarns. This is okay to use, but there's even thicker yarns than that. Sorry, I keep looking over there. Then we have these hooks, if you can see. Let's see if I put it right there. See how it see how it is sharp. And this one has that too, and so does Alejandro's hook. It's sharp there. That helps hold the yarn. These are more rounded. Let me see if I can get my lighting really good. Okay, put it on my hair. Maybe it shows up better. Those are for types of yarn, or the particular way that you hold your hook. Alejandro, you want to show them different ways that you hold your hook?
So,
well, use your hook that you like.
okay. So you can hold it like this if you wanna, like, I don't know, it's like off to the side, and it's like a flute, You can also hold it like this, just straight up. That's how most people do it. You can put it at an angle. As long as it's easiest for you, you can really just put it at any way you want.
And what is this thing for? What is this for?
That is for your hands.
Okay, show them on yours.
For mine, it's right here. Don't know if you can see it.
So how come it's there? What is that little groove for?
It's so that you can have a good grip of your...
Okay, show them up in the video.
crochet needle.
It's to help you. Now, sometimes people have super tiny ones too. Those make things like this. Itty bitty little doily stitches. That's very complex. I would not recommend that for a child starting out. The bigger the hook is sometimes the better. But he, in particular, liked the wood, but he liked the thinner one. Which type of yarn did you have? Because I've been using
this
this
yarn.
size hook. And he has that size yarn, okay? And it's going to depend on your color, your preference. Play around with different yarns to see what your child likes. Different colors are fine.
So this is the one string, and this is the other string. You can see that this one is thicker.
Yes, it is thicker. Okay. So we are going to flip this screen, or whatever, pause this and then flip our screen and get settled, because we're going to then show you how to get it onto your hook and then what you do after you have it on your hook. But there are different sizes depending on your yarn. So your yarn is going to tell you, comes with paper usually wrapped around it, and it will tell you what size crochet hook you need or what size knitting needle you need. So look for the picture for your crochet hook, and then whatever it recommends is good for that yarn. However, if your child is just learning, if you have a different size hook than what they have for the yarn, they still might be able to do it. As you play with them, you will say, I like this size, but I like the look of a bigger or smaller hook. So it just depends. As you get going and become more professional with it, then that's what you will discover as you go. We're also going to show you, before we flip the screen or stop the video and start the other part, the two different types of, if you're going to do a scarf, because it is getting colder, right? This way, can you point out which way is it going? Very good. This is one way depending on the look that you want for your scarf, but this gets to be very long. And you can go as long or as short as you want, okay? Then he's got the other one over here. It goes a different direction. This is easier to hold your work when you're doing it as you go. Can you hold it up, please? This one, you go back and forth.
Like that.
So it's much easier. As you see, it's shorter pieces to work with and easier to hold. And it does give it a different look though. And again, you just go back and forth until you have the length or you run out of your yarn.
And this is
Typically,
color changing yarn.
Yes, it does. It's called variegated. It does, and those are really nice. The other thing about this is it's approximately one skein of yarn that will do a really good size scarf. So, all right, we're going to stop or pause or flip the screen. It might not seem like it for you, but we're going to get into now how to tie it on. All right, we are back. We have also something I wanted to discuss with you was these are darning needles. They help you to end your items and weave the tails back in. However, they're not necessary. You could use your hook, but this just makes it a little easier depending on your yarn. We have plastic ones that are big with the little hook there, and then a little smaller. Plastic are friendlier for kids sometimes, though, because they're plastic, they pull on the yarn a little bit. The metal ones are blunt ends as well. They're not super sharp. They are a little sharper, but sometimes you need that rigidness to go through depending on how tight you have crocheted your fabric or your yarn, the tightness. So I wanted to go over that briefly. If you don't have those, you don't have to have them, but they are helpful. You're also going to want a pair of scissors. Any scissor will do. This is kid scissors because the ends get a little frayed sometimes and it's hard to work with, and you just snip those off. And then when, of course, you're at the end of your work. Now I'm going to show you with the big one how we do this. You want to make a loop. Okay, you can fold it this way, you can fold it this way. It's up to you, right-handed or left-handed. you still need to make a loop, and you have a tail, okay? Then you want to put that tail through the hole. This is what's called a slip knot. And then you want to grab both your tail, and this that is attached to your ball or your skein is called working yarn. But you want to pull on the tail gently. Put that inside your hook and tighten. Don't get it too tight. You want it to be loose as you're learning, okay? And then we're going to yarn over. That's what they call that, yarning over. Okay, I hold it here and this in between. And then I pull through. That is chain 1. Yarn over, pull through, chain 2. And you do it however long you want your item to be, whether it's a scarf, whether it is a little square pad. You could even make bracelets, I guess, if you wanted. Yarn over and pull through. Now I'm going to have Alejandro show you something else on his yarn because it is a smaller yarn. Okay, show him. This is some chains he's already done.
So if you want to remove your chains and all of your stuff that you've made your progress on, well, then you're going to want to pull both ends. And then boom, it's all gone.
So if you make a mistake, you can always undo it by just pulling. Very good. All right, show them how you do it with your tail.
This is how I like to do it without using this. So you can make a little rabbit hole like this however you want, as long as these two cross over, making big hole. You're gonna want to take this end, the very tip of this, and then kind of just put it through there and keep it through there, and then you can pull. Just gotta keep that up. Keep it up. And as long as you keep it up there as you're pulling on this end, well then it makes a little hole. See? And then you kind of just put the needle through, and then you can tighten it, and then boom. That's how you do that.
And now show how you do your crochet.
This is how I do my crochet. I put it around.
Now is that your working yarn or your tail?
This is my,
You got to make sure that you're using working yarn when you start crocheting.
So this is the working yarn, the yarn attached to the ball of yarn or whatever. So I like to put it around, and then I kind of just use my fingers to pull it up and through.
And sometimes that happens.
Yep.
So,
and yeah,
that's okay. You can try again. Because until you get the feel for your yarns and how to hold it and work with it, you're going to experience those frustrating moments, and that's okay.
So you're going to want to keep the tail out of your way so that you don't interfere it. But you cannot cut it off because that is what makes the chain.
Yeah, at the end we have to weave that in. And sometimes we need a longer piece to connect it if we're going to connect our work. It just depends on what you're making.
So you see, I kind of just take the thing and pull it over like that. You see?
All right, and let's do a couple more so they can see the difference.
How we make the chain. Just take that.
So essentially he's yarning over, doing the exact same thing I was, but he uses his other fingers, which is totally fine. because it still is crocheting. It may take a little longer, but that's what's comfortable for him.
Gotta make sure that you're using your working yarn so that you don't make mistakes.
And once you get going, it's easier to remember which piece is your working yarn. But in my instance, it's a lot easier because I made my tail shorter. But depending on your work, you may need that longer tail.
It just depends on where you started your little rabbit hole. So you might start to see that there's this big floof that's starting to form. It's gonna end up turning into a chain. You see that?
So he's got a longer chain now started.
Yeah, it's thick.
So whether you hold it here and yarn over and pull through, or you yarn over, you pick it up and pull through, it's still the same stitch. And you're gonna see these V's. Now this I have not done yet with Alejandro, but if you're going to come back now, I'm gonna just show you, I'm gonna make it a little bit longer.
She does it much faster. She has much more practice.
Yes, I've been doing it more. So this looks like a V. So if you're gonna come back to your yarn, you're not gonna go into this first V. You're gonna go into this second V. This is just on your second row, and you're gonna pull that yarn through, okay? And now you've got two pieces. You're gonna yarn over and pull through both. That is a single crochet, okay? So what we were doing here is a chain. Now this is a single crochet. Then you go back into this next V, pull it through. You've got two loops, yarn over, pull through both loops. Your next V, poke it through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two. Those are single crochets. These are chains. I'm going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to show you how to turn it around. Okay? It is poke it through your V, yarn over, pull through two. And if it pops out, you got to put it back in. Now this one is your last hole for this row. That was your very first one. You want to poke it through that. And you're going to have to push hard sometimes, depending on how tight it was. Yarn over. Yeah, that one is really tight. See, that's why they say keep your work loose if possible. And then yarn over, pull through two. That is your last one. You want to now just chain one and turn your work around. Okay? Now, there's no V anymore. It's like a little hole, and there's two pieces. 1, 2. That's another V like that. So you're going to go in that first V where you've got 1, 2, pull through. You've got 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, now you're going through here, but it's going through both. Whereas before, on your first row, you were just going in the center of that V, going through that back hole. But you're not doing that anymore because now you're on your second row. So you're going to put it through the 2, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So you're going back and forth. I will continue to this end just for a moment because I want to show you something else. Yarn over, pull through 2. Put it in your hole, pull through 2. Here is now your last one on this one. You wouldn't go in through here because that is where you've chained and turned it. So this is your last one. Pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now is when you chain 1, okay? You have to chain 1 and then flip your work and pull and stretch it so it looks and feels even, okay? Coming back through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? So hopefully that's helpful. You've been chaining. How many you got there, buddy? Let's take a look at his progress. Wow.
I've already chained that much.
And if you notice right here, can we bring it up closer to the camera for me for a second? This looks like a little tangly mess up in here. Because if you see, he poked in through some of the yarn instead of wrapping it around.
That was a mistake at first.
I'm going to show you, and that is totally fine. I'm going to show you kind of what had happened. He kind of grabbed in between like this. And that is absolutely fine. But if you are not okay with it looking like this, then you may certainly do as he showed you at the beginning and pull it all out and start over. But when we go back, we can certainly make this still look okay, because that's a lot of work for them to do. But I would recommend doing chains just for a little while before you actually begin your piece where you start going back and forth. And some kids like the bigger yarn with the bigger hook, and some of them, like Alejandro, like this smaller hook. And it's just easier for his fingers. I want to put it down here so you can show. Yeah. But there are multiple sizes. So have fun with that. Let's see what else we can create. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. And we've got our little project started, but you, hopefully, I can't wait to see other colors. We do have a Facebook page as well. And we're happy that you were able to join us today. I will put in the links below my email should anyone have any troubles, or, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, I don't even know all the different pages. But I will post those in the link, and you feel free to contact me anytime. I can try to help troubleshoot with you. Sometimes I visually need to see what's happening, and for a small fee, I'm happy to do a one-on-one, like FaceTime, possibly Zoom, or like a Google Meet is good too, depending on whatever platform or capabilities that you have. And sometimes just emailing over the phone what's happening, but a visual is helpful. So if you, or I could send you a link to a specific video or do another video on the trouble that you're having. Whatever works best for you. But we certainly hope that you
will like, subscribe. You can hit that bell. It's okay if you don't though. And say done in the comments so that we know who our subscribers are.
And that way, we're able to enter you into the drawing to win the loom, because we're going to go over in another video how to make a cute little drawstring type pouch. So, happy crocheting. Bye.
Happy crocheting. Bye. Yeah, we're going to like and subscribe. Sippy cup.
All right, so I wanted to go over...
Waffles.
Waffles. Oh my gosh. Hello. Okay.
Give up, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Welcome.
Angel, the floofy dog.
Yes, she gets groomed on Friday.